Welcome back to Psychology-1, General Psychology. Now that you've got a sense of what psychology is all about and how it connects up with the other things you're studying, you're still here. Psychology is a science that tries to understand how the mind works and the role that mind plays in behavior. As I noted in the introductory lecture, psychology is a social science concerned with the individual's thoughts, feelings, and desires, and the role that these aspects of mental life play in behavior, especially social behavior. But the mind doesn't appear out of nowhere. The brain is the physical basis of the mind, and if we want to know how our minds work, it's important to know how our brains work as well. Accordingly, it's traditional in introductory courses to spend some time right from the get-go talking about the structure and function of the nervous system. And that's what we're going to do in the next several lectures. But this isn't a biology course, and we're going to do more than talk about neuroanatomy and neurophysiology just for their own sake. Instead, we're going to frame these topics in terms of the role of the nervous system in mind and behavior. Now, there's more to the biological basis of mind and behavior than just the nervous system. There are other bodily systems, such as the endocrine system, and there are also important other biological topics, such as heredity and evolution, that are critical to understanding what goes on in our minds and in our behavior. I don't have time to talk about all of these things in the lecture, but they do crop up in the textbook, so we won't ignore them entirely. So there's some biology in this course, and there has to be, because psychology is a biological science as well as a social science. But the biology isn't something just to get through and then forget. Once these lectures are done, and the corresponding reading, we'll have occasion to return to biology from time to time when we talk about the mechanisms of sensation, or the memory disorders that result from brain damage, the genetic contributions to individual differences in personality, the role of neurotransmitters in certain forms of mental illness, and how drugs and other biological interventions can support the treatment of mental patients. This isn't a biology course, however, so I don't want you to get caught up in the details of neurons, neurotransmitters, white matter, gray matter, and all that other wet stuff. But I do want you to have a sense of how our brains work, because our brains are probably the most complicated things in the entire universe. They enable us to think and feel and desire the things we think and feel and desire. And they make us what we are, both different as a species from all other animals, and also different, each and every one of us, from every other person on Earth.